Trump says U.S. to ban large investors from buying homes. Imagine a world where your dream of owning a home isn't crushed by investors buying every house in sight. A new policy proposed by Donald Trump promises to change that. Could this be the end of big corporations dominating the housing market and a chance for Americans to reclaim their dream? Let's dive in. For decades, the American dream has been simple. Work hard, save, and own your own home. A place where your family can grow, memories are made, and your future feels secure. But in today's housing market, that dream feels increasingly out of reach. Because large institutional investors, massive corporations that buy homes in bulk, have flooded the market, driving up prices and making it nearly impossible for ordinary Americans, especially younger generations, to afford a place to call their own. Recently, Donald Trump announced a bold move to tackle this issue head-on. He tweeted, "For a very long time, buying and owning a home was considered the pinnacle of the American dream. It was the reward for working hard and doing the right thing, but now, because of the record high inflation caused by Joe Biden and the Democrats in Congress, that American dream is increasingly out of reach for far too many people, especially younger Americans. It is for that reason and much more that I am immediately taking steps to ban large institutional investors from buying more single-family homes, and I will be calling on Congress to codify it. People live in homes, not corporations." I will discuss this topic and further housing and affordability proposals and more at my speech in Davos in the coming weeks. Let's unpack what this means and why it could shake up the housing market. The problem: investors buying homes in bulk. Large investors don't just buy homes, they acquire entire neighborhoods. They buy houses at record prices, often paying interest, outbidding regular buyers. Once purchased, these homes aren't typically sold to families. They're rented out. This practice has consequences. Skyrocketing home prices. When investors snap up homes in bulk, supply for everyday buyers decreases, naturally pushing prices higher. A house that a family could once afford now might cost hundreds of thousands more. Rent hikes. Investors are businesses. Their goal is profit. Rents in neighborhoods dominated by corporate owners often climb far faster than wages. Community impact. Long-term home ownership has been linked to stronger communities. When homes are rented out to transient tenants, neighborhoods can lose a sense of stability and community cohesion. This is not just theory. Reports show that in cities like Atlanta, Phoenix, and Miami, institutional investors are responsible for up to 20 to 30% of single-family home purchases. That's a massive chunk of the market, meaning millions of Americans are competing with the corporations for homes. Trump's solution: the ban on large investors. Trump's proposal is simple but radical. Ban large institutional investors from buying single-family homes. The idea is straightforward. These homes should be for people, not corporations. Here's why this could be a game changer. More homes for families. If big investors are restricted, more homes remain available for ordinary buyers. This could give younger Americans and first-time buyers a real chance to step onto the property ladder. Price stabilization. With reduced competition from cash-rich corporations, home prices may stabilize or even drop, making them more affordable. Stronger communities. Families buying homes to live in them long-term tend to invest in their communities, schools, local businesses, and public spaces. Removing corporate ownership could strengthen neighborhoods nationwide. Trump's plan also includes calling on Congress to codify this ban, making it more permanent and legally enforceable. While the details are still emerging, the core message is clear. People should live in homes, not corporations. Why now? Inflation, Biden, and housing affordability. Trump's tweet also pointed to record-high inflation under Joe Biden and Democrats in Congress as a factor making homeownership harder. Inflation affects the housing market in several ways. Mortgage rates rise. To combat inflation, the Federal Reserve often raises interest rates. This makes mortgages more expensive, increasing monthly payments for buyers. Home prices continue climbing. Inflation pushes the cost of construction materials, land, and labor higher, indirectly raising home prices. Savings lose value. Young Americans trying to save for a down payment may find that their money doesn't stretch as far as it once did. Combining these economic pressures with aggressive investor buying, the result is a housing market increasingly stacked against everyday Americans. Trump's proposed ban is positioned as a solution to restore balance and fairness in a market tilted in favor of corporations. Potential challenges and criticisms. Of course, no policy change comes without debate. Critics argue market interference. Some economists say banning investors could disrupt housing markets, potentially slowing development or investment. Legal questions. Large investors may challenge the ban in court, arguing it violates property rights or commerce laws. Impact on rentals. Investors currently own millions of rental homes. Limiting their purchases could reduce rental inventory, potentially raising rents in some areas temporarily. Even with these concerns, Trump's plan is designed to prioritize homeownership over corporate profit, putting Americans back at the center of the housing market. Global context. Are other countries doing this? Interestingly, Trump is not alone in addressing corporate homeownership. Countries like Germany and New Zealand have also explored regulations to limit investor domination in housing. Germany. Certain cities have restricted foreign investors from buying residential real estate in the most competitive urban areas. New Zealand. The government banned foreign buyers from purchasing existing homes in 2018 to combat skyrocketing property prices. These examples show that while corporate investment can help fund development, unchecked buying can harm affordability and community stability. Trump's proposal mirrors global trends aimed at protecting local residents and families. What this means for you as a home buyer. If implemented, this ban could open doors for first-time buyers. More inventory means more chances to compete with other families rather than deep-pocketed corporations. Younger generations, Millennials and Gen Z, who have struggled with student debt and high prices, may finally have a path to home ownership. Stability for families. Buying a home isn't just financial, it's emotional. Knowing your neighborhood is mostly owner-occupied can create a stronger sense of community. For investors, the policy may require a shift toward long-term development projects or multi-family units, rather than single-family homes for rent. Trump's broader housing agenda. The ban is only one piece of Trump's housing plan. He has indicated that more proposals will be discussed at his upcoming speech in Davos, suggesting a comprehensive approach to increase housing affordability, promote single-family homeownership, limit the power of institutional investors. By tying this plan to broader economic concerns like inflation and the cost of living, Trump frames housing as not just a market issue, but a social and political one, with the American dream at stake. Conclusion. Owning a home has always been more than just bricks. It represents security, freedom, and achievement. Yet, with large investors dominating the market, that dream is slipping away for millions. Trump's proposal to ban institutional investors from buying single-family homes aims to restore opportunities for ordinary Americans. Supporters or critics aside, it raises key questions. Should homes serve families or corporate profit? Can government action balance the market? Most importantly, could this make the American dream attainable again for younger generations struggling to buy their first home? The housing debate is just beginning. Like, share, and subscribe for more.